What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Good morning. It's Sunday. We are headed to the Motorplex today. So we stayed at the good old Comfort Suites last night. It was cheap because no one's staying in hotels right now. But we are loaded up, ready to go. We're gonna get some ice for the ice tank, get some caffeine for Ken Dog, and we are headed to the Motorplex, do some quarter-mile testing. So I did have some leaks last night. My catch can was leaking. I think the trans pan was leaking a little bit. So I've got a little bit of work to do this morning on the car. But we're gonna get some quarter-mile testing. Hopefully it goes well, and we'll see you guys at the Motorplex. So we're letting the Mustang warm up. Some really fast cars out today. Look at those red eye came out. All right, guys, we're about to make the first pass. We turned it down a little bit because the tire shook real bad last night. Only a few cars have gone down, so they sprayed it, but I don't know if there's any heat in the track. It's really not hot yet, but we do want to get some runs in before it gets too hot. There's like that fine line where you need some heat in the track, but you don't want to be too hot and greasy. So we turned it down to the launch on like 9 pounds of boost, and we'll see how it does, and then we'll turn it up from there. So about to go make the first pass. Alright guys, so first pass, new personal best technically, like 3 100ths faster than my stock motor record at 826. This was like a 823. 120 60 foot again, so we're back in the 120s. I'd like to see a 110, but I don't know if the car will do it. So we're gonna turn up the launch just a little bit. You guys will see that I blew the tires off and then actually backed up and made another pass. I think I was just a little out of the groove, but backed up, made another pass. So I think I'm actually gonna try burning out past the line, see if I can pick up some nice fresh prep, and then I'll back up and see if that helps me launch. So we're gonna turn the launch up like half a pound of boost, and we're gonna turn the total boost up top up. But that is my highest mile an hour in the car, 165. Before it only went like 162. So we definitely need more boost up top to get that magical number, the number. So we're gonna turn it up a little bit and see what happens. Well guys, we turned it up a lot more and we went slower. So we've got some issues. I don't know what it is. We're looking over the logs and trying to diagnose some issues. Not sure what it is yet, but yeah, we turned it up and the car went slower. Make some adjustments and hopefully get back on the track. guys, we are back from Dallas, Texas. Went to XRP Saturday night. Had a really good show in there. Obviously, we did some low boost testing. The reason I went to XRP is because we had a private rental on Sunday. So I didn't want to waste a bunch of time on Sunday trying to figure out the shock settings and what boost to leave on, which obviously you have to change for the track conditions and the weather. But I wanted a really good base setting because the only time this car's really been out was at TX2K, and we had a bunch of issues, never got to turn the car up, and so it was really TX2K was a make sure the car runs type of deal, and we just ran it on low boost. So this is the first time actually going out and turning it up, being on a really good track, and so yeah, there was obviously some changes made from TX2K until now. We did the K member from BMR, we did Viking coilovers, I did all new wheels and tires, which that doesn't really make a difference. Upgraded the rear springs to a stiffer spring, and then we changed a few other odds and ends. But the biggest thing was trying to figure out what to get the coilover set at, especially with the new springs in the back. And then, you know, some weight adjustment. Obviously, we added the cage. So a lot of stuff has changed this year already. And we're just trying to make some changes for that so we can go race and be somewhat competitive this year would be nice, or just have fun and go rounds a little bit. So Saturday went pretty decent. We left on like 6 pounds of boost first pass and went like 1.3s, really nice and easy. Then later that night we got into the 1.2s, but unfortunately it was a test and 2 night and an index, and so there was tons of cars. We only got 3 passes and within a span of like 5 hours, but we got some good data on the car. Found out there was some leaks on the car. The transmission was leaking a little bit, catch can was leaking a little bit, so I had some stuff to clean up for Sunday. And then we went out Sunday, as you guys just saw, made a really good pass off the trailer. It went 820s on like pretty much the same boost. Well, we think it's the same boost as when I was on the stock motor. So we were really hopeful. Car went 165, so the trap was up on about the same boost that it went like 162 before, which when we went 820 on the stock motor at 100, I think it was like 162 mile an hour, the DA was a lot better. It was like 3,200 on Sunday, and I think when I went 820s on the stock motor, I think it was like 1,500 to 2,000. So obviously it's a lot better air. It was cooler out then too. It was super hot on Sunday. It ended up being like 95 to 97 degrees. So we went out for a second pass and we tried to turn the car up for the first time. This is the first time we've tried to throw a lot of boost at the car, and we wanted to keep the 60 foot about the same. We brought it up just a little bit, see if it had 60 foot a little better. The car went 122, so a little bit worse 60 foot, but the track was starting to go away because of how hot it was. It's starting to get greasy, and of course the car goes slower. Not by much, but it did go slower. And so obviously that tells you there's an issue, which is why we data log every pass. So I was working with John Lund Jr. and we were just trying to figure it out. So that's why the car is all torn apart right now, which you guys will see in the next video what we have to end up fixing. But biggest issue was there's a huge boost leak somewhere. I've already found it. I'm working on it. You guys will see in the next video. But the biggest issue was there's a boost leak somewhere. The intercooler pump stopped working at one point. The trans fan stopped working at one point. I still had a trans leak on the car. So just tons of issues. And really, this is why you guys, this is why you go testing. This is why, you know, it took me a while to go fast before, and it's gonna take me a little bit to go fast now. So it's kind of like Streetcar Joe's Fox Body. There's a lot of, you know, kinks you gotta work out on a new setup. So I think we've made huge progress. We already went 1.20s. In the 60 foot, literally right off the trailer. So there's definitely some huge promise for this car, and we just got to figure out, you know, where we can turn it up. We got to fix some small issues so we can go out, be safe, and we can race competitively, and we can turn it up. This is obviously a 7-second car, but you know, running 7s, it's a big jump. Running, you know, going from like 9s to 8s is a big jump. Going from like high 8s to low 8s is a really big jump, and then going from 8s to 7s is a really big jump. And every time you go faster, there's that many more things that have to go right, and there's that many more things that want to go wrong. So everything has to work perfectly. Obviously, this car would have gone 7s on Sunday if I could have turned the boost up, but I never was able to turn the boost up because we had a huge boost leak somewhere. And I had a bunch of tools and stuff, but the part that was leaking, I couldn't really get on a Sunday in Dallas. So we're fixing the car right now. The next goal is pretty much Streetcar Takeover in OKC. Was going to try and go testing this week, the week before Streetcar Takeover OKC, but I don't think I'll end up having time. I gotta work and get some other stuff done, but that's fine. I've got a really good grip on the car, I feel like. For the shock settings, John Lund Jr. has really helped me out with the front coilovers and with the rear Viking shock settings. So huge thanks John Lund Jr., Lund Racing, for tuning the car and then also helping me with the suspension. Those guys are awesome over there. But I think we've got a really good hold on the car. Joe and I are pretty good at doing the tune-ups for what boost to leave at, what RPM to leave at, and how quickly to bring in the boost ramp, and then what to bring the overall boost to. Now, since the car was leaking boost, it's going to throw our boost numbers a little bit off. So that's going to be definitely something that we're going to have to get used to and figure out where we can start at, because we don't want to start at 10 pounds when 10 pounds before might have really only been 6 pounds, and now it's truly making 10 pounds off the hit. So those are things we'll have to mess with. So hopefully Friday night, Street Car Takeover is Saturday night. Hopefully Friday night we'll get some testing in and we can start playing with the boost numbers. But this car should freaking rip once we can turn the boost up. Obviously, it doesn't have a big enough turbo to be going like low to mid sevens right now, but it's got a good sized turbo on it. It should go somewhere in the high sevens, but I really want to do a lot of 8th mile racing this year, a lot of grudge racing, but I kind of just want to get that 7-second pass just to have it. So we got some work to do. We've got some maintenance to do on the car. We've got to fix some issues, some boost leaks. We've got to fix a few small things here and there, but I'm really excited for the car. At first I was kind of angry. I drove 6 hours. The car didn't do well because I was really hopeful after we ran 820s right off the trailer. Low boost. I was like, man, this car has so much more in it. We haven't even turned it up yet. And that's just how things work. They don't always work the way you want them to. So now that I'm back home and kind of looking at it from the outside, it was a really good trip. I figured out stuff that's wrong with the car. Like the leaks and stuff I need to get fixed, obviously for safety reasons. Don't want it to leak on me down the track. And then boost issues. You know, I don't want to be running into these issues when I'm at the track racing. I want to just be able to adjust the car and make it go fast, which you're going to run into issues when you're racing, but you're trying to mitigate those issues. Pretty much during the week is the time that you mitigate all the issues so that when you go racing on the weekend, you can just focus on racing, getting good reaction times, adjusting the suspension for the track, adjusting the boost for who you're racing. So this car's got really huge potential, as it always has. It's more of just figuring it out. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed all the racing content. It was a fun weekend. I got to race on Saturday, got to race on Sunday, and it was a really fun time at the track. Got to meet some cool people at the track. And huge thanks to TG Motorsports for coming out and helping out, and huge thanks to Kennedy for taking some good photos. But I will see you guys on the next video. It's time to prepare for Street Car Takeover OKC. And then after that, I think like 2 weeks after that, is a little street car showdown at the Motorplex put on by 777 Performance and TJ Bailey, TNA Promotions, which they're the ones that prepped the track on Sunday, which if you want to watch his YouTube, it's Medusa Twin Turbo. TJ Bailey always with the fire track prep. When it's 98, 99 degrees out and the track temp's like 130, there's only so much you could do. But we still had fun out there. And yeah, I think that's the next race after Street Car Takeover that we'll be going to. And then I'm not sure quite what the June, July schedule is. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. If you want more updates, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and I will see you guys on the next one.